Once upon a time, there was a beautiful woman named Phikul was not only beautiful but also having good behavior as well. Her mother died when she was very young. So she was looked after by her stepmother, who also had one daughter named Molly. It was very unfortunate that both the mother and her daughter were wicked women. They forced Phikul to work hard every day. One day after the job of pounding rice was finished, Phikul went to fetch water from a stream which was not far from home. On the way back, an old woman suddenly appeared in front of Phikul and asked water for her to drink. Phikul was very pleased to help the old woman. She gave her water and told her to take more water to wash her face and body so as to refresh herself. Phikul told her not to worry if the water was not enough. She would go and bring it more. The old woman smiled and said, "You're beautiful and kind at heart. Even though I am poor and looking shabby, you still treat me nicely." After praising Phikul with kind words, the old woman then gave a wish to her, and by this virtue, the golden flowers would come out from her mouth whenever she felt sympathy for anyone or anything. Immediately after granting this wish to Phikul, the old woman disappeared in front of her eyes. Phikul knew at once that the woman was surely an angel in disguise who had come down to earth to grant her a wish. After returning home late, she was scolded by her stepmother, who thought that she had gone astray just to avoid daily work. Phikul thus told the whole story to her, and feeling sympathy, many golden flowers came out from her mouth. The greedy stepmother quickly changed her mood from anger to greed and rushed to grasp them all while calling Phikul to speak more to satisfy her greed. From that day onwards, the stepmother collected as many golden flowers as possible to sell in the market and got a lot of money. All of them now lived a happy life. Phikul did not need to work so hard as before, but she was forced to speak the whole day so that more golden flowers would come out from her mouth. Exhausted by her stepmother's greedy demands, Phikul got a sore throat and became voiceless. She could not speak for a while. The situation upset her stepmother so much so that she started beating Phikul, trying to force her to speak, but Phikul could not utter even a single word. To satisfy her greed, the stepmother decided to send her own daughter, Molly, to do the same thing as Phikul did. Molly was sent to the same place as told by Phikul, but instead of meeting an old woman, she met a beautiful woman wearing an impressive dress standing under the shade of a big tree. The woman then asked for water from Molly to drink. Out of jealousy, Molly got angry and thought that the woman was not an angel, so she refused to give any and used rude words to curse the angel in disguise. The angel thus placed a curse on Molly that whenever she got angry and spoke, worms would come out from her mouth. Molly told the whole story to her mother. From the anger of telling the story, the whole house was full of worms. The mother thought that Phikul was jealous of her daughter, so she had distorted the story, and that was why Molly did not meet an old woman. She beat Phikul and drove her out from home. Overwhelmed by this grief, Phikul wandered in the forest alone. Fortunately, she walked in the direction of a young prince who was enjoying a horse ride in the forest along with his soldiers. Upon seeing the young girl crying, the prince asked her to tell the whole story. At the end of her narration, the whole area was full of golden flowers. The prince was very pleased and asked for her hand. After marrying her, the couple ascended the throne and ruled the kingdom happily ever after.